Hey everybody, this is Matt Dickman of Techno Marketer, and this is another edition of Inside Out. Today I'm going to take a look at Summize. Summize, basically what they say they're a conversation search. Really this is a Twitter search engine, but in my mind not all Twitter searches are created equal, and Summize to me has really kind of stepped up and taken a leadership position. So I just want to kind of show you what they do, why I think that it is the premier search service out there for Twitter, and kind of what you can do with it from a marketing perspective. So first off, I mean, it's set up just like any search engine. When you log into the main page, it's got some trending topics. So basically they're looking at what topics have the most conversation happening around them, and they kind of list them here on the home page, which is kind of like the Google Trends information that I've shared with you guys before. So what you can do in here is just type you can type your username, and basically it'll come back. And I've actually found that it's near real time, more real time than almost anything else that I've found. So much so that if you search, let's say, if you search Twitter itself, it comes back and loads up this page. You can refine your search. You can go to the advanced search. You can go through all of these words, the exact phrase, any of these words, really to narrow it down so you can really get what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a brand name with a product or a brand category, you can do that here and kind of get that kind of feel. If you want to see what a certain person has said, you can put in their username to someone, referencing someone. You can do kind of the geolocation, and that's only really as valid as people, as well as people like tag themselves. So if you say you're at a certain location, that's what it's depending on. It's not actually sensing where you are, which I'm sure is something that Twitter will come out with soon. You can search by range, so you could say I want everything from a week ago to today, and then you can say attitudes, which this is a little bit hokey, but if somebody puts a smiley face or a frown or asks a question, asking a question is actually a really good one. Anything containing links, and then you can limit your results to a certain amount per page. But like I said, if we come back here to this Twitter, if I just search Twitter, so it's real time pretty much. And a couple things you can do with this: there's a RSS feed dynamically generated for this. And so you can subscribe to this in your reader, and anytime that a new tweet is mentioned, it'll actually update that feed, push it into your reader, and here you can see that in real time it says, since my search result, 12 more results have started. So all I do is hit this refresh, and it loads those 12 results. So it's really pretty interesting. That's what I mean from the real-time perspective. It is loading these things as they're happening. There's also a really good, Twitter these results. You can actually send a link to the page in a tweet. This one's really well integrated with Twitter. Just little things, you can click through to the person's username. You can also view the tweet. So let's see. Here's one that I'll view. So, it pulls in the same information. It links you back to Twitter. It's pretty well integrated from that standpoint, which I really like. A couple of these things are not very well thought out, it seems. This one also recognizes that Twitter happens in many different languages, so you can filter by language. You can also, if you see something that's not in English or whichever language, I guess it's only English now. If you see something that's not in English, you can hit the translate to English, and it'll find out what you are and kind of do an approximate search. Here it relists those trending topics, and then it kind of gives you an idea of some different ways to structure your query in the search box to get exactly what you want. A lot of people use the hashtags, which is like the pound and then the name of what you're talking about. You can put something in direct quotes, so it'll just get that. So it's actually pretty interesting. There's another thing which I featured the other day, but I'll show you how it works live, which is this real-time sentiment. Basically what you can do is search for something like Obama. What it does is it goes out and looks at the Twitter messages that are out there and tries to analyze the sentiment around the word Obama, which is swell for this one, which is actually really interesting. You can come back and it links back to the normal Obama search results, so you can actually see what people are doing. Now their sentiment is not super accurate as evidence if you go search on airlines or something like that, and it says that it's also swell, and the sentiment is definitely not that heading that way right now. So it's just something to keep an eye on for the sentiment perspective. But that's a post that I already did, so you can go check that out. So that's it for this time. Definitely Summize is something to check out. Definitely create your searches, subscribe to the feeds for those, and you'll be pleasantly surprised that you're being updated about these things as they're happening without having to have Twitter open 24/7. So that's it for this time. If you have an idea for a future edition of Inside Out, just drop me an email. It's mattdickman@gmail.com, or leave a comment on the post. Thanks a lot.